Defender is a purely downside ability, simply meaning that a creature with it can't attack. It was created as a replacement for the inherent rules baggage previously associated with the wall creature type, where any creature type with the type wall automatically could not attack. While Defender itself is a bad ability, some defenders offer other strengths to compensate, and a few cards reward you for running lots of them. Let's dive into the list. Number 40. Fogbank. Fogbank is a flying defender that's immune to all combat damage, making it a super resilient blocker and a flavor win. This 2-drop was first printed back in Urza's Saga and most recently reprinted in Foundations, a testament to the timelessness and elegance of its design. Number 39. Bonded Fetch. Bonded Fetch is a great example of a future sight card that fuses two abilities you don't often see together. In this case, Defender and Haste. It can't attack, but can start looting immediately with its activated ability. That instant filtering is good for quality control, and even better when your graveyard is a resource, like in Reanimator decks. Number 38. Grozoth. This oddball is a 9-mana 9/9 that can attack if you pay 4. More importantly, when it enters, it lets you search your library for any number of cards with mana value 9 and put them into your hand. It also has Transmute for a cost of 1 generic and 2 blue, meaning you can discard it to tutor for another 9-drop. Back when Grozoth was in Standard, some people used it as a way to search for Dragonstorm. Number 37. Wall of Shards. Wall of Shards is one of the strangest defenders. It's 2 mana for a 1/8 flying defender, which is a fantastic rate. The catch is its cumulative upkeep, which makes one of your opponents gain life. Still, the card has its uses. The massive toughness synergizes well with cards like Arcades, and the cumulative upkeep can become a political tool in Commander or a way to forge alliances. Number 36. Stalwart Shield Bearers. Stalwart Shield Bearers is one of the best defender lords, providing a solid +2 to the team's toughness, while packing a respectable 3 toughness of its own. Number 35. Crashing Drawbridge. Crashing Drawbridge from Throne of Eldraine is a 2-mana 0/4 wall that can tap to give your entire board haste. That simple effect is shockingly useful across multiple formats, especially in budget commander decks. It plays a similar role to Lightning Greaves and Swiftfoot Boots, a functional tool and a flavor win. Number 34. Flumph. Based on a classic creature from D&D, Flumph makes you and an opponent draw a card whenever it takes damage. That gives it some multiplayer applications. If you give Flumph Indestructible, it also goes infinite with Orcish Bowmasters. Number 33. Vent Sentinel. Vent Sentinel is Defender's machine gun. You can tap it to deal X damage to target player, where X is the number of defenders you control. While your walls hold the line, the Sentinel turns board stalls into life total pressure, providing defender decks with a much needed clock. Number 32. Stirring Bard. This dragon defender gives you the initiative on ETB. The initiative is similar to the Monarch, letting you venture into the Undercity dungeon each turn. The initiative proved stronger than expected, running rampant in Pauper for a while. As a result, almost all the initiative cards were banned from that format, including Stirring Bard. Number 31. Escarpment Fortress. In a fun twist, this defender grants a tiny power buff and rewards you for going wide on attacks. The mana cost is a little high, but the card draw is nice. Number 30. Socrates, Athenian Teacher. Another card from Assassin's Creed. Socrates is a quirky group hug card in Commander, softening attackers and converting combat damage into symmetrical card draw. Number 29. Tuk Tuk Rubblefort. Tuk Tuk Rubblefort is similar to Crashing Drawbridge, granting all your creatures haste as a passive. That said, it's generally used not to advance your aggro plan, but rather to let you use your creature's tap abilities immediately. This gives the Rubble Fort a home in Pauper in competitive Walls combo decks. Number 28. Wall of Mourning. Wall of Mourning is a 2-mana wall that eventually functions like a cantrip. It exiles a card per opponent on ETB, then Coven returns them. Great in multiplayer when your deck runs lots of creatures with varied powers. Number 27. Surge Engine. Surge Engine is a kind of level up card, beginning as a 3/2 defender but gradually becoming stronger. It upgrades to unblockable, then to a 5/4, then cashes in for 3 cards. A tidy 1-card curve, good enough to see some standard play. Number 26. Crystal Barricade. For 2-mana, Crystal Barricade grants you hexproof and shields all your other creatures from non-combat damage. This makes it a major headache against burn strategies. Number 25. Tree of Redemption. Tree of Redemption was one of the splashier cards from Innistrad, able to swap its toughness with your life total. It didn't see much competitive play, though it does show up sometimes in Commander alongside Arcades and Felithar. Number 24. Sporocyst. Sporocyst is a pretty cool creature from the Warhammer 40k set. It's a blocker that scales in size and also ramps, drawing you a card on entering if X is 5 or more. This means it's useful at any point in the game. Number 23. Plumeveil. Plumeveil is 3 mana for a 4/4 with flying and flash, meaning it's a nasty surprise blocker. It often played like a removal spell, flashing in out of nowhere to kill an attacker. This gave it a home back in Lorwyn era Standard and Extended. Number 22. Shield Sphere. Shield Sphere was one of the early 0-mana creatures, giving it certain combo applications. It's also pretty useful simply as a defensive piece. While it does shrink as it blocks, starting out at 6 toughness for 0 mana is solid. Number 21. Axebane Guardian. Axebane Guardian taps for any colors based on defender count, going infinite with Freed from the Real or Galvanic Alchemist at critical mass. You can then win the game by dumping all that mana into some kind of sink, like Valakut Invoker. This makes Axebane Guardian a centerpiece of Walls combo decks in Pauper. Number 20. Shield Wall Sentinel. Speaking of Pauper Walls combo, another crucial card in that deck is Shield Wall Sentinel. It's a fantastic toolbox card in that strategy, tutoring for any creature with Defender when it enters the battlefield. Usually this means it fetches your missing combo piece and helps win the game on the spot. Number 19. Mnemonic Wall. Another Pauper powerhouse. In that format, players loop Ghostly Flicker to blink Mnemonic Wall, plus another creature, usually a value card like Muldrifter or Seagate Oracle. You then return Flicker with the Wall trigger, and repeat the process as much as your mana allows. This becomes a soft lock value engine that's maddening to break. Number 18. Perimeter Captain. Perimeter Captain is one of the best defender payoffs, gaining you 2 life whenever one of your defenders blocks. As a 0/4 for 1 mana, the captain's stats aren't too shabby either. Number 17. Pramicon, Sky Rampart. Clearly aware that a certain subset of Commander players love defenders, Wizards gave us a legendary mythic wall in Commander 2019. When Pramicon enters, you choose left or right. Then, players can only attack the player nearest to them in that direction, or planeswalkers they control. It's a fun and weird effect that totally warps the table's politics. Number 16. Wall of Reverence. In Alara block, the Naya strategy was all about creatures with huge power, and Wall of Reverence was one of the most useful payoffs for that. It's a 1/6 flying defender for 4 that lets you gain life at the end of your turn equal to the power of a creature you control. The combination of high toughness and life gain made Wall of Reverence a nightmare for aggro decks. It saw play in some control decks during that standard, giving them a way to stabilize against the faster strategies. Number 15. Nivix Cyclops. Whenever you cast an instant or sorcery, this Izzet defender gets +3/+0 until end of turn, and temporarily gains the ability to attack. It can be formidable in Pauper, where it's one of the key cards in the Hot Dogs and Izzet Blitz archetypes. It sees use alongside the likes of Kiln Fiend, Assault Strobe, and countless cantrips. Number 14. Wall of Denial. For 3 mana, you get a 0/8 flying shrouded wall, representing a powerful defense against aggro. It first appeared in Alara Reborn and quickly became the go-to stabilizer for Azorius control decks. Unassuming, brutally efficient, and very tough to kill, as well as a neat expression of the Azorius sensibility. Number 13. Drift of Phantasms. Drift of Phantasms is a 3 mana 0/5 spirit with flying, defender, and transmute for 1 generic and 2 blue. Discard it at sorcery speed to tutor any card with mana value 3. Its true home is Pauper, especially Wall's combo. You can use its transmute ability to search for almost any piece in the deck, whether it's Axebane Guardian, Freed from the Real, Galvanic Alchemist, Tuk-Tuk Rubblefort, Valakut Invoker, Scholar of Athreos, Reaping the Graves, etc. Number 12. Tree of Perdition. Tree of Redemption's Dark Twin. Tree of Perdition can be pretty vicious at the right moment. It sees fringe use in Commander, and is also played in Pioneer Rakdos midrange decks, where it's put in competitive results as recently as November 2024. Number 11. Overgrown Battlement. Overgrown Battlement has decent toughness for 2 mana and taps for green mana equal to the number of defenders you control. It's been a backbone of the defender archetype since Rise of the Eldrazi Limited. It saw a lot of standard play in Valakut ramp decks, and continues to shine in Pauper Wall's combo decks. Number 10. Thoughtbound Phantasm. Thoughtbound Phantasm was powerful back in Guilds of Ravnica Limited, a great payoff for the Dimir Surveil archetype. Since then, it hasn't seen all that much play, but it's definitely good in the right shell. Some players like Aspiring Spike have experimented with it in Modern, in blue-red decks running Surveil effects like Consider, Dragon's Rage Channeler, and of course the Surveil lands. It takes some effort to get the Phantasm going, but it can snowball fast. Number 9. Sunscape Familiar. Another major Pauper force. Sunscape Familiar is a 2 mana 0/3 that reduces the cost of your green and blue spells by 1. It's the namesake of the blue-white Familiars archetype, a popular strategy in that format. The deck plays slowly, controlling the early game to survive until it can assemble its combo pieces. When you mix Snap, Azorius Chancery, Archaeomancer, or Mnemonic Wall with Sunscape Familiar's cost reduction, you can start bouncing, replaying, and untapping lands again and again, generating absurd mana in the process. From there, the possibilities open up. You can gain infinite life with God Pharaoh's Faithful, make endless bird tokens with Murmuring Mystic, draw your entire deck with Muldrifter, and if you include Sage's Row Denizen, you can mill your opponent on the spot. Number 8. Hornet Nest. 3 mana 0/2, and whenever it's dealt damage, you can make that many 1/1 flying insects with Death Touch. That token army invalidates combat and can quickly become an aggressive threat of its own. Hornet Nest saw a decent amount of play in 2015 Standard, where it was often a sideboard card against red aggro. It also saw some modern use back in the day, and it still shows up now and then in Pioneer, usually in Gruul aggro sideboards. Number 7. The Pride of Hellclade. Another commander card. Part crocodile, part turtle, part elk, and entirely ridiculous. In dedicated defender decks, the Pride of Hellclade can cost a single mana, and more importantly, it lets your defenders ignore defender. Their combat damage still uses power, not toughness, which is a bit lame, but the Pride can potentially draw you a lot of cards if your attackers connect. Number 6. Tinderwall. Tinderwall can be sacked to shock the creature it's blocking, but its main use is as an effective ritual, producing double red when sacrificed. It's a cog in fast mana combo decks like Legacy Goblin Charbelcher. It also appears in pre-modern in Sneak Attack, and is very popular in Pauper, in Walls combo, and Balustrade Spy decks. Number 5. Thermo Alchemist. Once again, we have a wall that's very competitive in Pauper. In that format, it's a pillar of red deck wins. Thermo Alchemist taps to ping players and untaps whenever you cast an instant or sorcery. In spell-dense shells, it functions as both an early blocker and a win con. Number 4. Wall of Roots. The old classic Wall of Roots is a 0/5 for 2 mana that gradually trades toughness for green mana, making it both a ramp piece and an early blocker rolled into one. In Modern, it became a role player in Birthing Pod and Chord of Calling decks. Even in 2025, Wall of Roots is still used in some competitive Creatures Toolbox decks. In these shells, it pairs nicely with Agatha's Soul Cauldron. Exile the wall under Cauldron, and suddenly every creature with a +1/+1 counter gets Wall's mana ability. Wall of Roots also appears a lot in pre-modern, and in some builds of Balustrade Spy in Pauper. Number 3. Sylvan Caryatid. The gold standard for mana dorks with Defender. Sylvan Caryatid blocks early, fixes mana, and unlike most birds, cannot be bolted. It was very good when it was in Standard, and is still popular in Pioneer, in Niv-Mizzet Reborn, Bring to Light, and Jeskai Ascendancy decks. Number 2. Wall of Blossoms and Wall of Omens. In second place, we have a tie between Wall of Blossoms and Wall of Omens, which offer the same stats and effect but in different colors. Wall of Blossoms was the original, and it was actually a very influential design in its day. It was one of the earliest creatures with a beneficial ETB effect, replacing itself and becoming a roadblock against your opponent's attackers. Its white counterpart was also a big Standard player circa 2010, and still sees some use in Modern in 2025, synergizing particularly well with the likes of Ephemerate. Number 1. Thing in the Ice. Thing in the Ice starts as a 0/4 defender, but in spell-heavy decks, it quickly transforms into Awoken Horror, a 7/8 that bounces all non-horror creatures to their owner's hands when it flips. While not as popular as it once was, the Thing still shows up in competitive Arclight Phoenix decks in Pioneer and Modern. In the latter format, it's become better once again thanks to the unbanning of faithless looting. That's all for today. Until next time, thanks for watching. If you enjoyed this video, please like, subscribe, and consider joining my Patreon.